Welcome to my film and TV channel, and today we're going to have a look at, it's Christmas. I'm recording this, we're nearly into December, so yeah, it's nearly Christmas, isn't it? Shops are full of Christmas stuff, of course. So we're going to have a look at a British Christmas fantasy film today. Yeah, A Boy Called Christmas, PG rating, 106 minutes. This is directed by Gil Kennan from a screenplay by Ol Parker and Kennan himself. Based on the 2015 book, if you've read that, of the same name by Matt Haig. Yeah, so there you go. It's got a good pedigree, that's for sure. The film is was released on the 26th of November 2021 in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, France, China and Germany by Studio Canal, and obviously Netflix are involved in this, so they'll release the film elsewhere as well from a similar date. What's it about? Well, an ordinary young boy called Nikolas, yes, well, it is an origin story, sets out on an extraordinary adventure into the snowy north in search of his father, who is on a quest to discover the fabled village of the elves. Well, don't we all want to find it? Elfhelm, it's called. Taking with him a headstrong reindeer called Blitzen, and a loyal pet mouse. Yeah, interesting. One of my favourites in this, to be honest with you. Not supposed to be, but he is. Nikolas soon meets his destiny in this magical comic and endearing story that proves nothing is impossible. There you go. The cast, well, have a look at this cast. Some familiar names and some not so familiar names. Henry Lawful stars as Nikolas, the main lead. Jim Broadbent as Father Vodel. Zoe Coletti as the Truth Pixie. Yeah, we all need a truth pixie in our lives, don't we? Sally Hawkins is Mother Vodal, not Vodel, Vodal. Mikael Huisman as Joel. Toby Jones as Father Topo. Maggie Smith as Aunt Ruth and Old Truth Pixie. Probably one of the highlights of the film, Maggie Smith. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Room Tempter is Anders, Indica Watson as Little Noosh, Kristen Wiig as Aunt Carlotta, Stephen Merchant, yes, as Mika the Mouse. Well, the voice of Mika the Mouse, anyway. Yes, I like Stephen Merchant, so we know where we're going with that one, don't we? Richard Cooper as Little Kip, Joel Fry as Matt. Yes, some of the guys as well, this guys and gals, or whatever we call them these days. I think guys covers everything now, doesn't it? Is it any good? Well, these are the scores and comments as at the 27th of November 2021, about 2 p.m. UK time. Rotten Tomatoes, only 19 critics have left a review on there, but 16 were fresh and just 3 were rotten, so that's not a bad split. And overall, interesting enough, it does get the same score as Metascore in a minute. 6.6 out of 10 overall. Dulce Pierce, though, she wasn't very good on this. She was a bit rotten on this. She's from The Sun here in the UK. While trying to be a mixture of Narnia and Hook, she says, this film is far too confused and nowhere near magical or cosy enough to make it a Christmas miracle movie. Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Ian Frey, he's a bit happier with it. He's from Empire magazine. He's a freshie. He said, A Boy Called Christmas is by the numbers, Yuletide storytelling, buoyed by a strong Brit cast, inventive filmmaking, and the heart in the right place. There you go. Audience, yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes audience. It was showing about 3.3 out of 5 a couple of days ago, but I've updated this before doing this vlog. It's now 3.8 out of 5. So quite not a bad 7.6 out of 10, but that's not loads of reviews. It's over 50, but that's about it. It's not hundreds and thousands of reviews. Metacritic, as I said, scored it exactly the same as Rotten Tomatoes. They rated it 66 out of 100. But only 5 critics left reviews. So there's 3 positive and 2 mixed. There's no negative, so at least that sounds good. And it scores anywhere between 50 to 88 out of 100. And a couple of the, I'll give you 3 quotes. One called it fascinatingly muddled. That's one of the critics on there. Another one said possibly lacking a bit of fun or oomph. And someone else said, a cut above the usual holiday dross. So a little bit of discrepancy between the critics and certainly the public. But let's have a look at the public. How about Internet Movie Database? Well, again, this was a little bit lower a couple of days ago. I've just literally updated it now. And we're talking 6.9 out of 10 on the internet. I had something on my face there. The way my moustache is growing. I'll have to have a shave, guys. My apologies for being such a scruff, but it's a bit cold out, so I'm trying a bit of extra insulation. Anyway, it's my apologies. Yes, Internet Movie Database, 6.9 out of 10, which is pretty good. Say it was 6.5, 6.6 a couple of days ago.
So if you ignore the 1 out of 10s and the 10 out of 10s, which I tend to do because nothing's 10 out of 10, nothing's 1 out of 10, you're left when 1,002 people scored it between 6 and 9 out of 10, and 197 people scored it between 2 and 5. So a massive 84% have scored it 6 to 9, 6 or higher out of that, ignoring the 1 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s. That's 84% positivity, which is very, very good. So what about me? Yeah, I mean, this is very, very close to being one of my... There's certain films I'll watch every Christmas. There's certain films I'll watch every 2 or 3 Christmases. This came very close to being one I watch every couple of 3 Christmases, but it ended up being one I'm not going to rush back and watch, unfortunately. It was just so... But it is so close. There are good elements in it. From Maggie Smith, who sadly isn't in it as enough for me. She's plays a couple of roles, but still not in it quite enough. A great origin story of Father Christmas, a good little story beneath it all. But overall, it just fell a little bit too short for me. Henry Lawful, who plays the lead in this, is Nikolas. He's a pleasant enough lad, don't get me wrong, but this role is a bit too much for him. He doesn't really carry it off very well. He's just, in simple words, he's just not quite good enough as an actor to actually pull it off, which is a great shame. And even though he says he's a pleasant enough lad and he's okay in the film, but he just lacks, well, someone mentioned oomph before, didn't they? So he just lacks a little bit of that. And he is definitely upstaged by his pet mouse, who is voiced, of course, by Stephen Merchant, which, as I've already said, I do like Stephen Merchant, and it made me smile, or he made me smile, these little one-liners, and laugh with all it throughout this film. I mean, I did read one person on Internet Movie Database who it totally annoyed him. He said it ruined the whole film, the mouse, but for me, it made the film. But there you go. That's why it's all opinions, isn't it? Jim Broadbent as well. Again, not a big enough role, too small a role, but he's excellent again in his role. Sally Hawkins, who plays the baddie, if you like, in this, the baddie in the village, in this elf town, elf city, which whatever, elf village, I think it's more, isn't it? Sally Hawkins, she should be utilised more in this. I want to see a little bit more of her, but obviously she's all on the screen all too briefly. And the action is okay. There's a couple of action scenes which never pulsating. It's okay. I mean, the reindeer bits are quite good, and it's nice to see the origins of Blitzen and what happens with him again. But I think it would have been even allowing for the fact, as I said, some certain characters weren't on the screen long enough. There's quite a bit of filler. So even though I do think this would have been better being a shorter film, I think it could have been tweaked a little bit to be a little bit more interesting as well. Because it's not a bad seasonal film. Family film. Let's say you'll sit down with your kids and grandkids and watch this, but it is a little boring at times, which is such a shame. With this sort of good older cast they put together as well, and as I said, the origin story, it's a really, really good origin story, done really well. As I say, the first 10 minutes of the film sort of dragged me in. I really wanted to watch it, but as I said, it didn't sort of keep up that momentum, unfortunately, throughout the film. As I said, one reviewer there wrote fascinatingly muddled, and I think I would have to agree with that. It's for me, it's an almost, but not quite, as far as a film and Christmas film goes. But I will give it a watchable score. I'm not going to give it any less than my 6 out of 10 because it definitely is watchable. But as I said, you just knew it could have been a little bit better for me. Anyway, it's all opinions. A lot of people like it a lot more than I do, but I just think it could have been. It could have been something a little bit special. It just fell short, unfortunately. We'll not lay any blame at any certain actors, but I've already give you my opinion on that anyway. So let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, it's a nice Christmas film. Say it's Christmas. If you want to watch a good new Christmas film, certainly won't put you off watching this, and let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. What are we going to do rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look at each other. So we meet here again on the Film and TV channel. I'll perhaps have a look at my football channel if you get a chance on my team, Manchester City. If that's of any interest, or you know someone who might be interested, please point them in my direction. But if you're not that bothered with that, don't worry. Come back on here and visit me again on my Film and TV channel. I'll try and inform and entertain. Well, until you do, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.